How you doing, good people, man? Welcome to ZTV 1990 with your boy and myself, Z. And I want to just thank everybody for tuning in, all my subscribers. And for the ones who follow this channel, you know that every now and then I come with some video, I come with some content, and I hit you with hard facts. Before I continue, I'm just going to let everybody know right now, I'm not one to sugarcoat nothing. I tell my people what's going on. A lot of this stuff is what thus said the Lord. I spend time with God. I spend some time with Him, and then He'll show me things. He'll reveal things to me. And I need everybody to know what's going on out here with this Israel versus Palestine. And I did tell everybody there was going to be a civil war, but this time it's going to come out of religion. I did tell everybody that. For those who've been following my channel, my subscribers, I've been warning everyone about what's happening ahead. I've been telling everybody what's going on. I do remember saying that there's going to be a Civil War #2. But this time you ain't got to worry about the Confederates. This ain't going to be no black versus white. This is going to be a civil war down to religion. And that's what we're seeing in today's time. So I'm going to let all these Palestine followers know, the people that support Palestine, right? You keep saying free Palestine, right? But I'm going to give y'all some history. Okay? I'm going to break this down. I'm going to show you somebody who used to be born with Hamas, the son of the Hamas co-founder. And I'm going to let everybody know why it's foolish to support Palestine. It really is. Because the Jews are not all Zionists. There are Jews who are my skin color. Okay? Jews are not just white people. And this is a battle for faith. But now I'm going to read to you scriptures that point out that Israel was here first. Israel was God's chosen people. He promised them that land. I'm going to let everybody know the truth about how Jews got Israel first. And this is also the reason why the Bible is trying to be eliminated. They're trying to take away the Bible completely. Now, it starts off in Genesis chapter 12. Genesis 12, and it says, God promised Abraham, I will make you a great nation, Israel, and I will bless you and make your name great. I will bless those who bless you, and curse who curse you. Yeah, I will curse those who curse you. And you and all families of earth shall be blessed. I don't know about you, but I don't know about you, but I don't know about you, but I want to stand with God's people. That's in Genesis 12. See, how does it describe Israel? The Israel also collectively in the Bible to denote God's chosen people, the descendants of Jacob, as well as the geographical region God grants to his chosen people. Now let's go even deeper. Yes, so that's Genesis chapter 12, verse 3. I just read you. Now let's go to Isaiah 49:7. Thus says the Lord, the Redeemer of Israel and his Holy One, to one deeply despised, abhorred by the nation, the servants of rulers. Kings shall see and arise, princes, and they shall prostrate themselves, because the Lord who is faithful, the Holy One of Israel, who has chosen you. So God says, I will rid those who come against you, for those who is faithful. Genesis 15:13 says, Then the Lord said to Abram, know for certain that your offspring will be sojourners in a land that is not theirs, and will be servants there, and they will be afflicted for 400 years. So he's talking about the 400 years of slavery, the 400 years of persecution. Who was that? My people. And my people will soon come back to that land. Psalm 25:22, redeem Israel, O God, of all his troubles. So what's going on now? God's getting ready to redeem them people from the danger that's coming upon him. Okay, so this is what they're saying. Genesis 18:18. Seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all nations of earth shall be blessed in him. Okay? So y'all seeing it? You seen this firsthand? This is what the Bible says. It says the remnant of Israel, Romans 11:1-8. I asked then, did God reject his people? By no means. I am an Israelite myself, a descendant of Abraham, from the tribe of Benjamin. God did not reject his people whom he foreknew. Don't you know the scripture says in the passage about Elijah that how he appealed to God against Israel? Lord, they have killed your prophets and torn down your altars. I am the only one left, and they are trying to kill me. And what was God's answer to him? I reserve for myself 7,000 who have not bowed the knee to Baal. So, too, at the present time, there is a remnant chosen by grace. And if by grace, then it cannot be based on works. If it were grace, it would no longer be grace. What then? What the people of Israel sought so earnestly, did they not obtain? The elect among them did, but the others were hardened. It is written, God gave them a spirit of stupor, eyes that could not see and ears that could not hear, to this very day. So y'all see this for yourself. Right, look at Deuteronomy 14:2. For you are a people of holy to the Lord your God. Out of all the peoples on the face of earth, the Lord has chosen you to be his treasure possession. So again, man, God promised him that land. Now, people got to understand, man, Palestine is not an actual state. It's not an actual country. They feel this is in their way. They want to take this over. But God says, no. Now, I'm getting ready to show y'all a man by the name of Mosab Youssef. Okay? And he is going to tell you firsthand what Palestine is. He's going to explain his backstory. And this was recorded on Dr. Phil's show. Take a listen.
Is something you condemn and you say, well, you have.
Sorry for the interruption, y'all.
Have to look at that by looking at hundreds of years of conflict. No, you don't. No, you don't. That's either right or it's wrong, and it was wrong, and I don't need 100 years of conflict to know it was wrong. When somebody comes over a fence and goes into someone's house and burns their infant in its crib, I don't give a damn why they did it. It's wrong. What's up? It's good.
Now, Dr. Phil's referring to October 7th of last year. Pastor, I came in there and invaded. We all seen it on camera. Okay? Because they want to do ethnic cleansing. Y'all gonna see firsthand the whole goal and the whole mission.
Good to meet you.
It's nice to meet you as well.
You grew up being indoctrinated by Hamas, and your father was one of the co-founders. What did they teach you from an early age about Jews?
There's lots of hatred in that culture against the Jewish people. It's not a secret. In fact, the Muslim belief system has a fundamental problem with the Jewish people.
And their solution is what?
First of all, we need to understand what is the problem. Because from a personal experience with the Jewish people, all I saw, the most amazing, most productive, and most successful nation in the world that don't harm anyone else. So why the Muslim people hate the Jewish people? They don't have a reason except the ideological reason. And that is, in some Islamic texts, they say that Muhammad had a problem with the Jews, and Muhammad is their prophet, so they follow his footsteps. But in reality, Muhammad did not write a word that says anything against the Jewish people.
So that goes to show you, people, you can't just adhere to, or you just can't follow somebody else's words. You gotta look at things for yourself. You heard what that man just said, right? Elijah Muhammad never wanted no war. He never really hated the Jews like that. These Zionist people talk about, they're not all evil, man. I'm gonna just tell you everybody that right now. You know, some of the stuff that comes on TV is used for propaganda. And all these Palestine people are doing with Gaza is psychological warfare. They want you to feel sorry for them. But no, this is about them trying to take over land they can't have. But let's continue.
You can say hatred as one motive, but it's not only hatred. It's human delusion, it's envy, it's anger.
But there's a difference between hating someone and deciding that you need to wipe them off the face of the earth. And when I look at what happened on October 7th, that's more than just hating. What's that about?
There is lots of violence. And what Hamas did on October 7th was an attempt for ethnic cleansing. In fact, they succeeded in ethnically cleanse close to 20 Jewish communities. And this shows you their intention. They want to.
I gotta block that like that for reasons. I don't want y'all seeing that. This is really, really bad. But this is what they believe in. These are very, very, very violent people. They're real savage. They're heartless. Who records them killing somebody? Right? Who will do that, man? Unless these people are just demonic. This is pure evil.
To dominate. This was a holy mission. It's a holy war. In Islam, to kill for Allah is a way of worship. This is the stuff that nobody likes to talk about.
Let's take a look at what you're describing.
And by the way, when they kill for all, they also mean to sacrifice themselves for the nation. Okay? So I find it very, peculiar. I find it very odd that the ones, especially out here in America, because there's a lot of stupid people in this country. I'm serious, man. You give them freedom and they just go out. They go out of their way with it. It's just outrageous. I find it funny that the people that support Palestine aren't willing to actually fully convert. Them themselves wouldn't be ready to die and give their life for that cause and that nation. You want to say free Palestine, but none of them are willing to get them a passport and go over there and go fight.
In what some of these kids are trained to do at a very young age.
In Gaza and the West Bank, nearly 10,000 teachers and school administrators employed by UNRWA belong to Hamas-dominated unions, which call for the destruction of Israel. UNRWA is financing school curriculums that glorify terror and suicide bombing. Children are being inoculated with the belief that any and all means possible must...
By the way, that's cold-blooded. To be teaching these kids to kill, they are indoctrinating these kids in Gaza. Okay? This is all in Gaza. This is all in Palestine. This is all Hamas doing. I need people to understand something. The kids that people in America are feeling sorry for, they have been trained to kill Jews. Immediately. Don't matter who you are. Black or white. I need y'all to understand who the enemy is. They're teaching these kids at a young age to kill, to do harm and hurt innocent people. The Jews don't hate these people. Okay, I need people to understand this. The Jews don't hate them at all. It's the ones teaching them this hate. Systematic oppression. This is real racism.
Be used to reclaim Palestine. UNRWA students openly parade in the streets and call for Israel's destruction.
See, there's no God but Allah, right? See how they mocking God? They teach these kids to hate God. They hate the Lord Jesus Christ. But I need people to understand something. God got his hands on these children. These children died, man. God gonna have them in heaven. Because, again, these children don't understand what they're doing. These children aren't responsible until they reach 12 years old. That's what my mom told me a long time ago. So he understands these children. But these adults, they finna get judged for this. So I need people to understand something. These kids at 8 to 10 years old, right? These are young kids with all this machine guns, this military artillery. They're teaching them how to kill. And anybody that stands in the way is an enemy. So for the ones that support Palestine, you don't understand what you're supporting. There are people that don't even realize what you're doing.
All of this occurs in plain sight, within the watchful eye of UNRWA teachers. These students are between the ages of 8 and 10 and have already received military training.
فلسطين عربية من المي للمية.
هذا الحق العودة.
هذا نرمى على اليهود حجار. ونذبح اليهود. إن نقتل اليهود وندافع عن وطننا. لو شو ما يصير مش راح يصير سلام. راح ناخذ حقنا الله ينتقم منهم إن شاء الله يموتوا كلهم.
And parents, if their child is killed in the service of that, that's a good thing.
It's encouraged in that society.
And your father was fine if you got killed in that service.
Well, this is practically what he did in real life. When he had to choose between the cause and his own son, who saved his own life. In fact, I sacrificed everything to save his life. And my reward was to be disowned, shunned, and he publicly stated that my blood is allowed.
Now, what kind of a man, and any parent at that matter, would be willing to put their children through death? Now, I'm a person who feels that all kids should have a chance to grow up and become adults. They should have a chance to experience all of their birthdays, their sweet 16s when they're in high school, go to prom, and all the whole nine. They should be able to chance to experience Easter, Christmas, Thanksgiving, all these holidays. Whether you find it right or wrong, pagan or not, they should be able to experience the joys of being a child. But a person that would encourage their kids to die young, to me, man, that's just totally out of place, like wrong in all levels. That's like scum. That's the lowest you can ever go. But y'all see this, right? These people are extremists. They don't care. Again, they believe in death. I need y'all to understand this. God bless this man right here, Mosab Yusuf. God has appointed Mosab Yusuf to tell people the truth and warn you about what's going on here. So all this trying to free Palestine, these people are trying to kill Israelites to try to take that land over. They train these kids to try to take over that land at young ages. Them people don't care if these kids get killed. These kids was trained to try to kill them. So they want you to feel sorry for them because, again, they're trying to program you. This is the devil. Y'all, again, this man is exposing the devil firsthand. But again, any type of man, this young man, this man right here gave up everything to save his father's life. So his father, whether choose a nation, his own flesh and blood, that's just pure evil. Pure adulterated evil.
That was some 12 years ago. 12 years before I disowned him.
Well, next, what Mossab says, students protesting for Palestine need to know that just might surprise them. But first, as we go to break, more shocking words from the mouths of young Palestinians.
Y'all continue to stay tuned.
بيدرسوك عن المقاومة؟ شو بيقولوا لك؟
انه احنا لازم جميعنا نأيد المقاومة، والمقاومين هم اللي لازم يرجعون لبلدنا، وهيك كل بيتاخذ بالقوة بيرجع شغل بالقوة.
أنا أقرأ اليهود.
يعني انهم بيعلمونا بالمدرسة انهم ارهابيين
إنهم هدول مش منيح وهدول بقتلوا قاعدين بشبابنا. إذا بطعن عمل عمليات الداعش.
Y'all seeing that, right? Them little kids, man, been programmed. Okay? This is why we can't allow that type of support on American land. And y'all gonna see why, man. Like, so I'm gonna get to that a little later on in the video. But y'all bear with me, man. I need y'all to see this in full detail.
Student organizations' reactions to the Hamas attack revealed a disturbing degree of ivy-covered intellectual rot. Americans nationwide have been...
And by the way, there's nothing America could do with Israel choosing not to cease fire. Now, for those who've been paying attention to the week of October 7th, I think 2 or 3 days later, Israeli leader the prime minister, the leader of the military, made a public announcement. He made he addressed the public, he addressed the nation, he addressed the world, and he said that Israel is not going to bow down to terrorism. They're not. So there's nothing America could do about a country that has made up their mind. When Hamas decided to go up in there and they kidnapped Americans, by the way, too. They kidnap Americans and they kidnap Jewish people. So when Israel declared war and said we're not going to cease fire, there's nothing Biden can actually do about it. Nothing. So all this trying to cease fire, they're wasting your time, pretty much. Because Israel got nuclear weapons too, just like we do. And if Israel wanted to, they could just drop a nuke and just end it all. Just wipe them all completely out. Kids too. Which they're actually not trying to do. Because by launching a nuclear weapon, they start World War III. But this is just proof of the end of the times. We're near the end of the world, y'all. So I suggest we got to make peace with God. We got to start getting ourselves right. Repenting of our sins. And telling people the truth. Because this is really finna get real.
Appalled and shocked. The leadership of these supposedly highly sophisticated schools are so busy virtue signaling that words are violence, but violence, horrific, inhumane violence, is social justice, that they have forgotten it is their job to teach their students to think and to test reality. I was absolutely outraged about what was happening on college campuses, and I could not remain silent. I posted that message and more.
And these are all people that's brainwashed like zombies. They got no mind of their own. These are young folks. See, Palestine know who they doing. This is all psychological warfare. They use TikTok, Instagram. They use social media to program you. Okay, see, these Arabs in Palestine and Hamas, they're trying to take over the world. It's a terrorism. Psychological warfare. They know they can't defeat Israel's military. Israel's military is far stronger than them. For centuries, these Arabs trying to take over Israel and they failed. So now they're trying to attack us all from the inside out. See, they going after America because they know America's an ally to Israel. And some of these Iranians from Iraq, when we defeated Osama bin Laden and Saddam Hussein, they've also teamed up with Hamas. So people need to understand what's going on here. This is programming. This is brainwashing. These people rather side with the devil. They rather side with the enemy over their own country that you live around, that you from. But how would they feel if their people was in harm? Their families is being killed by these same Palestinian Arabs. How would they feel?
Or on social media. I'm here with Massab Youssef, son of the Hamas co-founder. He turned his back on Hamas and is estranged from his family. He wrote a book. Here's what he says about these college protesters.
I love Hamas. I think Hamas.
Oh, you love a terrorist organization. Interesting. Harvard Square.
They should be all exterminated. And their kids, their mothers, their children.
Y'all see that right now? That's just true anti-Semitic. That man there has no soul at all. That's a demon. It's clearly demonic. You see that, right? That young man don't know what he's saying. He don't know why he's doing it. That young man has followed a trend. Again, it's programming. That young man knows full. First of all, he wouldn't even last 5 minutes in the Middle East. They'll kill him. And that's another thing y'all need to know too. These Sunni Muslims, they don't like his kind. They really don't. They'll sacrifice him as soon as he come over there. People gonna find out these Palestinian that hate Israel that's going at them, they not your friend. Or they not. And I guarantee you that look like a white dude on in these garbs. That man don't know what he's talking about.
Just like to all those students, I say that it's very disappointing to see Americans supporting Hamas and thinking that Hamas is a cool thing. While Hamas does not respect any of those followers, while those followers don't know that Hamas would torture them and massacre them with no mercy, they call them useful idiots. They don't know.
Oh, and on the dark web, these are the same people that's chopping heads off. executing it for pleasure. Okay, y'all better hear me, man. I'm gonna say this again. On the dark web, these same Palestinian Arabs, Middle Easterns torture people like them, like these students, and they execute them live on their recordings. So this man here knows what he's talking about. Again, these students got no idea, man. They hate them all equally.
Know that Hamas is a dark, black hole.
You guys are Nazis. You put genocide.
You have no idea what you're talking about. I am being emotional. I have the right to be emotional because I speak on behalf of the children as a Palestinian child.
Majority of people lack purpose. They want a cause, and without a cause, they don't exist.
You say that they're looked at by Hamas and the Palestinians as useful idiots. What do you mean by that?
I spent lots of time in Hamas prisons with other Hamas leaders and Hamas members from different districts. Then, most importantly, I worked with the Israeli intelligence and I had the honor to be part of the counterterrorism unit. And I was born there and part of that culture, part of that religion. And I barely understood this monster. That's why I describe it as a black hole. Then some people hear about Hamas or they see an avatar of a Hamas fighter carrying a rifle, a freedom fighter, and they think it's a fancy idea, to support such a monster. This is why I call them idiots, absolutely idiots, because they don't know what they are supporting. They are supporting a monster that has been hijacking an entire society and endangering the entire Middle East, pushing the world towards a global war instead of...
Now, what you mean by global war? That's World War III. Because again, if Israel launches a nuke, that's going to basically harm the entire Middle East. It's going to force their allied forces such as Japan, North Korea, all to get involved. So y'all got to understand what's going on here. Israel can't allow them to still be living. I'm sorry I have to tell you that. Now, again, I feel sorry for those kids because they've been programmed, but y'all see what's going on here. This is they're teaching these kids a generational curse. How do you stop a generational curse? You got to wipe it out immediately. Now, God is going to protect them kids. Those kids are going to heaven because they don't know. They don't know. They don't realize what's going on, and it's not their fault. It's the parents. But y'all gonna see these students because they don't realize they have no idea what they're talking about. They have no information on Palestine. They don't even know their history, let alone geography. Watch this man, Mossab Youssef, taking to school.
Condemning such a monster that they just committed ethnic cleansing against innocent people. Then kidnapped hundreds of hostages, then used their own people as human shields. And none of those pro-Palestine people condemned Hamas up to this day. How long would it take them to realize that this is not only enemy of Israel, it's enemy of civilization? So when I see protesters on campuses like Harvard, of course I was outraged. I am still outraged. What's happening is insanity. Those pro-Palestine people need to go to a mental asylum.
I was indoctrinated to hate a lot of people. First and foremost, I was taught to hate myself. I was taught to hate Jewish people, that they are the enemies of Allah, and that the worst possible thing in the world to be is a Jew.
Free, free, free Palestine! Viva, viva Palestina! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! They have killed over 10,000 Palestinians!
You're seeing what has been happening on college campuses everywhere. And joining me now our seniors from the University of Michigan, Selma and Zainab. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Anything you want to say in response to what's been said so far?
Well, absolutely. I believe that this conversation is being contextualized in the wrong way. I believe that it's being discussed under the notion that this is a religious war, that this is a conflict between Arabs and Jews, and that Hamas is central to Palestinian suffering or Palestinian resistance. And I think I want to give a bit more historical context of why we're actually fighting for Palestine. When we say that we're pro-Palestine, we're not advocating for any military group. We're advocating for the total liberation.
Hold up. Hamas is a military group. They're an army. Again, this woman don't know what she's talking about. Okay, like I said, this is under the programming. Again, Hamas they have a military. Those people they sent on October 7th was part of their army. Hamas controls the Palestinian army. So that's a lie right then and there.
Of all oppressed peoples.
I get the contextualization, but I also get a lot of buzzwords strung together. But I'm asking you what you think and you believe. Let's start with what happened on October 7th. Do you endorse that?
I reject the premise of that question because I don't believe that the person asking me that question has the moral authority.
Now notice how she tries to disrespect Dr. Phil. Says moral authority, but this man is a psychiatrist. He has a PhD, so of course he can ask these questions. But you see what you said? Y'all see this, right? They want to take over. Again, that's them demons. They want to take over. What you say don't matter. It's their word or the highway.
To ask it until they first and foremost condemn the violent formation of Israel and the ensuing Palestinian deaths. And in fact, I find it unfair that advocates for Palestine are first forced to preemptively condemn acts of violence before their platform is considered legitimate. It plays into Islamophobic tropes.
Islamophobic tropes?
Yes.
Well, let's just get down to right and wrong.
Okay.
And if you don't want to answer the question, that is an answer. Do you condemn what happened on October 7th?
Of course, we do not justify murdering any innocent civilians. But again, the framework of the question makes it seem as if the situation is the result only because of October 7th, when there have been several massacres for decades leading up to this. So when we have been the recipients of that violence and we are first asked to condemn violence, I find that there's a sense of hypocrisy in those questions when our suffering is not being recognized. And the first thing we're asked is to condemn.
What do you think Israel was going to do when Hamas cuts a hole in the fence and comes over the top and kills 1,300 people? What did you think they should have done?
I think they have every right to go in combat with Hamas, but I don't think...
You see that, right? So, okay, if they had every right to go combat with Hamas, then why would you even, like... Well, this is what I don't understand about these people, these pro-Palestine supporters. They make themselves look stupid in the process. They basically destroy themselves. Because they say they have every right to go in combat, but then you want to go and support what Hamas represents. You want to support the ethnic cleansing. But then y'all get mad because Israel's going over there and these kids are getting hit because they're casualties in a war y'all started. I don't understand that. Like, please, y'all explain that to me. Like I said, these people are, again, this is brainwashing. They have no idea what they talk about. They don't have no knowledge. And most of these, like her right here, she was not born a Muslim. She ain't a real Muslim. Most of them that support Palestine are not even Muslim. They're not part of the nation at all. They're not Sunni or Shiite. They wasn't even born into a Muslim family. Y'all see how stupid she sound? Again, you just can't invade a country, invade a territory, kill their people, and expect them not to declare war. You should have known this was coming. It's not being justified because Israel been wanting peace. And I got another video coming explaining what Israel was doing in the past, before October 7th. I'll probably do that next. But y'all, in part 2, but y'all got to see this. Y'all, I want everybody to know what's going on and how these people think. Because a lot of them don't even understand what you even supporting and what this is really about. Let her live over there let her go over there for a whole day. She gonna wish she had never she had stayed in America. A lot of them know they ain't finna go over there. A lot of them are not ready for war themselves. Why they talking? But I just want to see y'all. I want everybody. I want to show y'all the stupidity.
I think they have the right for 92% of the death count to be civilians.
If they burn an infant in a crib, do you see that as a moral equivalent to a collateral death from a bomb being dropped as an act of war?
They have explicitly targeted civilian areas that have been marked as civilian areas. Israel has the...
That Hamas pretty much occupies. Again, they're the enemy. Israel got to do what they got to do. They have hostages. They got to go and free those hostages. This woman, again, don't understand what she's even saying. It's just, again, it's confusing. Just saying stuff just to say it.
Registry for every person in Gaza.
And if that's where the enemy is hiding, do they have a right to attack them?
No, they do not have the right to kill.
There are some things that are just fun.
See, y'all see what I'm saying? Even Dr. Phil getting frustrated. So they don't have the right to kill, but Hamas could come in here and kill 1,300 people? See, eye for eye, tooth for a tooth. So she said that they don't have the right to kill, to go in there and kill and take care out the enemy, right? But Hamas can come in there and kill innocent people that did nothing to them. Cause I tell you, everybody, how they feel about Zionists, everybody that's in Israel is not a Zionist. And that's the point Dr. Phil and Yusuf is trying to make. But they don't care. Them two ladies clearly don't give a damn.
Fundamental human decency. And when I ask you if what happened on October 7th is something you condemn, and you say, well, you have to look at that by looking at hundreds of years of conflict. No, you don't. No, you don't. That's either right or it's wrong, and it was wrong, and I don't need 100 years of conflict to know it was wrong.
The fact of the matter is that Hamas, yes, did take innocent life. Why did Hamas take away innocent life? Why was Hamas platformed? Why was Hamas funded? Why is Hamas empowered to take away innocent life?
Let me tell you something. When somebody comes over a fence and goes into someone's house and burns their infant in its crib, I don't give a damn why they did it. It's wrong.
Now, but see, let these same people come to her house and kill them who don't choose to be a part of their nation. Because that's what Hamas does. If you don't choose to obey the laws that they want you to obey, if you don't worship Allah, they're going to kill you, period. That same woman, none of those two young women would give themselves up for Allah anyway. They wouldn't. But again, y'all see the hypocrisy.
I've read it that the charter of Hamas is to eliminate the Jewish race, beginning with Israel, but not stopping with Israel, wiping them off the face of the earth. Is that true?
This is true, but it does not end there. Now we have the problem with the Pro-Palestine, who are actually giving Hamas cover. They are participants in the crime. In fact,
look at her face. She don't even realize what she's doing. That woman realize she's making a mistake. Because these same people are going to come in here and they can do harm in America. I'm telling you that now. I want to let y'all know what's going on here. The devil uses people like her to brainwash you. Look at her face when he said that. See, that man, Musa Youssef, was born over there. He knows what's going on already. She don't. People in America on the outside looking in, they don't know what's going on over there and them people mindset. Again, let these same people come in there and her family and kill them out and wipe them out who don't choose to obey them and give their life give their life to Allah. This is what Sunni Muslims do. There's Sunnis and there's Shiites. Shiites are the peaceful ones. That's what Elijah Muhammad, Malcolm X believed in their theory. They're peaceful. They come about peaceful solution. They just believe in protection to defend themselves. But Malcolm X never called for innocent people to just get killed just for the nation. Two wrongs ain't making a right here. I want y'all to see. Look how she looking. She don't know what she don't realize what she doing. Look at her face. This young girl just realized she made a mistake. Come on now. These same people over there gonna try to use one of these people to attack us. And I'm getting to that in a few minutes. Y'all gonna see what I'm talking about. Because they started to get more and more violent as the months go on.
In fact, since October 7, I personally don't differentiate between Hamas and what's so-called Palestinians. Because actually there is no Palestinians. There are tribes. There is the tribe of Hamas, and there is the tribe of the Islamic Jihad, and there is the tribe of Khalil, and there is the tribe of Nablus.
And I strongly suggest people go study these tribes. Just like me, right? I'm not a Hebrew Israelite per se, but there's different tribes of Judah. Judah was the African tribe that was enslaved here. Sold off by our king centuries ago, right? Referring to the 400 years God was talking about in that scripture I told you. He was also talking about those are actual black folks, Jews. All Jews had to suffer for what he did. But God also said, I'm going to give you that land as long as you obey me. So people got to understand what you're doing. This is a religious war. These Arabs are mad they can't have it. They mad that God didn't give them the land. And they're trying to take it over. And they're using people like those young college women you see now to try and brainwash and program you. So you can do their work for them and make it easier for them. They're coming against God's people. This is what this has come down to. But I need y'all, everybody, to study these tribes. Study the history, what he's telling you. Study these tribes. Because neither one of these people that support Palestine, that's pro-Palestine, are from these tribes. Most of them aren't. They don't have an ounce of Arab blood in them.
And each one has different interests, and all of them are conflicted. If they did not have Israel as the common enemy, they would kill each other. This is the reality of what's so-called Palestine. You don't know what Palestine is. Actually, in fact, the keffiyeh that you are wearing, this is just a statement to show that you really lack the authenticity to represent the case. And what's so-called the cause, you know, this is a human problem.
So you just...
The cause must die. I think enough is enough. And now it's proven, and you are helping Hamas to prove it to the world, that Palestine depends on the destruction of the state of Israel. And this is not acceptable, and we are not going to agree to it. And
that man is twice their age, and she want to talk to that man like that, like he don't know what he talking about? Y'all see the disrespect. Again, the devil is getting more and more bolder as his days lead up to God's return. I'm showing you all this for a reason. This goes back to what I've been telling y'all in previous videos.
I'll tell you something. For the next 10 or 20 years, the Palestinian people will pay the bill that Hamas is caused today, and most likely in blood.
To you, Hamas and Palestinians are the same. They're one and the same.
After October 7, yes, there is no difference.
Really?
The vast majority of the Palestinian people support Hamas.
Those are the ones that voted Hamas to take over their land. Palestine elected Hamas to be their leader. Okay? People need to understand what he's talking about. They wanted this to happen. They wanted Hamas to launch them missiles at Israel. And again, if it wasn't for the grace of that Iron Dome, they would have killed millions of people over there. Thank God it did, because that would have sure enough forced Israel to launch a nuclear attack. Israel is not trying to kill innocent people, but they're attacking that military. That's what's going on. And now the Hamas knows they can't defeat Israel. They panicking, so they're using psychological warfare. They want sympathy. Want people like this girl here, this dumb girl, big old dummy, to feel sorry for them and protest for them. But again, there's nothing America can do about Israel not seizing fire. That's not their call anyway. That's not for us. That's not for the U.S. government to do. We're not over there. It's crazy. This woman need to worry about her own life. Because the blood is also on her hands too for encouraging this acts of violence and terrorism.
Really?
This is a fact. This is proven by statistics, and your silence now. You cannot even condemn Hamas and say that what they did on October 7 was an act of a savage group. You don't have that power.
Said I condemn.
On what
the
authority do you speak?
question.
You only speak on the authority of Hamas propaganda.
No, why do you say that I'm speaking on the authority of Hamas propaganda?
Because if you were a decent human being, you can say that the thousands were killed on October 7. That was a crime against humanity. It was a genocide.
Y'all see that right? He put her in her place. He put her right in her place. Again, y'all gonna see what time it is. Now, by the way, now shouts out to Officer Tatum. Now we're gonna get to towards the end of this video. I'm gonna show you what's getting ready to happen. Now you're gonna get to my point and what I've been trying to tell people. I've been trying to tell you y'all this previously what's getting ready to happen in America. Because these same Palestinians, I believe Hamas is planning an attack on America. They're planning another attack. Now they're not gonna do what they did in 9/11, because that was Iraq. That was Iraq. They're using people like those two young ladies I just showed you to attack America from the inside out. Now I'm gonna let Officer Tatum break it down for you in detail, but I want y'all to show you the mindset, the violence that's in these people's heart that's been programmed onto them by Hamas leaders.
We'll maintain this to the day that I die. These people that are pro-Palestine, 98% of them are pro-Hamas. I don't want to hear nobody say anything different because you're being disingenuous. I have yet to see a person make an argument for Palestine and also simultaneously rejected Hamas. It's rare. I mean, I went to an event. I had a lady at my event after I said this. The same thing I'm saying now. I said nobody that supports Palestine and say pro-Palestine is condemning Hamas. They will never condemn Hamas because they all secretly believe Hamas is doing the right thing. If you are occupying, if you are the genocidal force, then they're justified, to be honest, to liberate themselves, right? So none of these people really believe it. This lady gets up. I did a video on YouTube about it and it went viral. So this is another sentiment of the violent theology of these people. This woman. Now, I know Primetime Stein gets up in these council meetings and he says some of the craziest stuff, but he has never said what this woman has said. She should be ashamed of herself, and she received instant karma like never before. But look at them with the little garb on. Just straight anti-American devils.
It's very clear to me as someone who's been an organizer for the past couple of years that none of you care because you guys don't care about anything happening in Palestine or any other country where oppression occurs because you don't care.
Oppression. Who's the oppressor? The people who fly into your country and harm innocent people and chop them up and burn them alive and all that stuff? Not the military, but innocent people. Who's the... Okay.
About the oppression occurring here. And I understand that you guys are all horrible people, but the thing is, 2,300 people being evicted in the last year, those are votes. And you guys, those are votes to win here in Bakersfield. And while you guys parade Gandhi around, as a Hindu holiday called Chaitra Navratri starts off this week, I remind you that these holidays that we practice, that other people in the global south practice, believe in violent revolution against their oppressors. And I hope one day somebody brings the guillotine and kills all of you mother...
Now you just heard her, right? The guillotine, that's a normal form of execution in Palestinian and Arab torture. Now I found out some research about this woman here. This woman here was not even born a Muslim. She's an Indian woman. She's now was she basically married into a Muslim family. But that's again, y'all see that, right? They will use anybody for the cause. Now, this woman was instructed to do that by her husband. Her husband is one of them. Her husband is a Sunni Muslim. He's one of them. She was told to do this. Because you don't just come into a courtroom saying stuff like that. That's the most dumbest thing you could ever do. But she don't care. No, I looked that woman up. Her name is Rena or something like that. It starts with an R. That woman's husband or family told her to do that, to say that. Say they're gonna bring the guillotine, right? That's what the devil, the Antichrist, gonna be doing for all those who don't call him Jesus. Chop your head off. Y'all see this firsthand. So what? And my thing is, how's that peaceful? They say they want a peaceful solution. They about peace. They protesting peacefully. Nothing is peaceful about that.
The increased criminal.
How insane do you have to be to say that? A person that nobody ever said no to, an entitled, selfish narcissist would not have the social awareness or emotional intelligence to not say anything crazy like that just because you disagree.
For no need other than you don't like when people come and hold you guys accountable for introducing ceasefire resolutions, because the only escalation in violence has been by you all. And so there's no need to continue. In the last 5 years I've attended city council meetings, there's never been metal detectors, there's never been more cops. The only reason you're doing it is because people actually don't care if you guys don't like them, and they're actually resisting, so you want to criminalize them. So regardless of whether you elect people into office, they'll backstab you, they'll let you die, and for that reason, you guys want to criminalize us with metal detectors, we'll see you at your house, we'll murder you.
Now you see that, right? She said they're gonna murder you. I need people to understand. This is what I'm talking about. They could be planning an actual terrorist attack. These people could be planning to go to these houses and start killing people in America they don't like. That's not agreeing with them. Y'all see what she just said, right? That woman was instructed to go do that. Now, if I'm, you know what I'm saying, like somebody in the military, like I'm a colonel, a sergeant, a general, I'm investigating that woman while she's in, because, by the way, that woman actually got locked up. She actually went to jail. Right after she said that same day, right then and there, she went to jail. She's locked up now. I guarantee you, this woman right here is being detained. She being investigated by the military and the FBI. That woman's now a level 10 threat. They're planning a terrorist attack. And I did tell y'all there's suicide bombers here. That woman would actually suicide bomb herself and anybody around here for the nation. She'll do it. They're telling me her husband is one of them. They're planning off in here. And Biden knocking down them borders didn't help. He made it worse. He opened us up to attack from one of these people. Y'all gonna hear me what I've been telling you. Again, I got videos talking about this. You seen it for yourself. These are the demons. That's the mindset. Ethnic cleansing. In the name of Allah and who they believe in.
Next speaker, please.
Can you put? Come on.
Lance, followed by Kev, followed by Valeria.
Ms. Patel, that was a threat, what you said at the end, and so the officers are going to escort you out and take care of that.
So she got arrested. But the deranged mentality of these people to say stuff like this is insane to me. You're gonna, because people, they're putting metal detectors in place to protect them for people like you. You're gonna come to their house and kill them. This is what the leftists feed off of. They feel emboldened because they're minorities that they can just say and do whatever they want to do. It is insane to me that a woman will fix her mouth and her lips to say something like that. In belief, there's no repercussions. But let me tell you what, the reason is because they're wrong. They don't have a great argument.
And when somebody don't feed into their mania and they just like, okay, child, finish talking, they get extremely aggravated and they lash out. Talking about guillotine and talking about showing up at these people's houses is absolutely unacceptable. These people could be sorry city council members. I don't know. I don't live in Bakersfield. They could be terrible, but you can't go threatening people's lives.
And let me say this to Black Lives Matter, because their founder is an actual like traitor to her own people, because what's going on in Congo got nothing to do with Palestine and what's going on in the Middle East. Now, what if this had been a black woman like, say, Judge Maybelline? And salute to Judge, shout out to Judge Maybelline, by the way. I've been knowing that woman when I was a child. We used to go to the same church years ago. But yeah, what if this would happen to somebody like her or Judge Mathis or Judge Joe Brown, and you see this woman threaten a black person right there? I wonder what Black Lives Matter would do. You know what I mean? I'm curious. Because them the main ones who started this whole protest was them. Right? And their founder, George Soros, which I actually said in my old channel. I've been told people about him. That's another devil. That woman was willing to threaten this judge. Which means, like I said, if I'm somebody in the military that's higher up, or I'm CIA, I'm FBI, I'm investigating her personally. I'm gonna find out what they doing, who they finna attack, because they could be planning a terrorist attack. I believe Hamas is gonna program these supporters to kill, to start killing people, start strapping themselves with bombs and blowing stuff up. I believe that. Just like in that movie Sankara 2. Again, people, we are in our last days. There's going to come a time when we're going to have to choose which side we on. You may have to die for what you believe in. Because this is real, man. So I'm letting everybody know that to say, be prayed up. You know, be prayed up. Because you never know when it's your time to go. You know, I want people to live a long life. You know, I myself want to live to see myself get old. But hey, who knows, man? We don't know the day nor the hour. And we don't know when God is coming back. But before I end this video, let me just show y'all the aftermath.
We begin tonight with your 17th Court Watch, where a woman arrested Wednesday after making threats to the city council was ordered to stay at least 500 yards away from City Hall in court today. Pro-Palestinian protester Riddhi Patel is charged with 8 felony counts of threatening officials after tensions at Wednesday night's city council meeting when she made threatening comments to city council members.
You guys want to criminalize us with metal detectors? We'll see you at your house. We'll murder you.
Look at her crying. Look at that. Look at her. She feeling sorry now, but yeah, she didn't. She should have thought about that before she opened her mouth and threatened a judge. You don't do that. That's a felony. At least she crying now. That woman's being tore down. They getting inside her head now. They're gonna find out what's going on. They're gonna find out who her husband is. I'll be investigating him too, because her husband could be planning an attack. I'm telling you this now, man. It wouldn't be surprised me, y'all, if Hamas is planning to attack America from the inside out. Look, she crying now, right? After she said they're going to come over here with the guillotine and execute people, right? Look at her. She feeling sorry now. That woman going away. She going away for a long time. Well, they not letting her out. Oh, no, Look at $2 million bail. Ain't nobody getting bailing her out. Oh, no, she's going to stay in there. But what's getting ready to happen, she's finna get investigated by the U.S. Marine, by the military. Either by the Marine Corps, right? Navy, one of them is finna investigate her now, because again, it's getting bad. And these protests are getting more and more violent. There have been college graduations that have been canceled because it's nonsense. People at Columbia trying to close themselves in. They doing all kinds of outrageous stuff. Supposedly they've already killed Jews already. They getting more and more violent.
A deputy public defender entered not guilty pleas on Patel's behalf to 8 counts of threatening a public official and 10 counts of making terroristic threats. She's due back in court later this month.
Yeah, they finna send her. They finna send her off to prison. She going to a federal prison. They gonna hold her just like they held that arms dealer they released in exchange for Brittany Griner. So I show y'all this now, people. Start being prayed up because it's really finna go down. Civil War #2. Except this time, it's like I said, it's not gonna be a battle between black and whites. Oh no, we ain't got to worry about the Ku Klux Klan no more. We ain't got to worry about the Confederates and black people. They hate you too, because our people are also Jews. The tribe of Judah. These we're Jews too. Come on now. Y'all saw my book of Clarence video based on that movie that I did a review on. If they hate them, they hate blacks too. Dude, she crying now because she knows she getting ready to go away, man. Oh, she's an enemy. I guarantee you, where that woman going, she ain't gonna like it. Because in prison, she's now viewed as a terrorist. Oh, these women gonna come at her hard. Oh, she finna get it. But we got to be careful for people like her. Because again, they getting more and more violent. Look at that campus clash. They getting more violent. And it's gonna come a time when these people are gonna be instructed to kill in the name of the Hamas, in the name of the nation. So yeah, so it's gonna be a civil war #2 between Jews and Arabs who are Sunni Muslims. And because Jesus was a Jew, they hate Christians just as bad. Oh yeah, Christians are not exempt from this. They're gonna come after Christians too, yeah. But y'all, that's the video, man. I want to tell everybody I love you. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for commenting. Like the video if you feel like. But again, I need people to see this. Yeah, this woman's name is Rita. This name is Rita, right? So y'all gotta watch for because again, this is an Indian-born woman. This woman was not even born Muslim, but she's been indoctrinated by her husband, who is from from Hamas, from the Middle East. But that's it, y'all. That's the video. Thank you for tuning in.